There are places in the world that don't ask for your attention, they take it. Places where silence isn't empty, it's full. Where rivers carve through time and mountains speak a language older than words. Welcome to North America. From the ancient stillness of Canada's alpine lakes to the bold breath of America's canyon lands. This is a journey through wildness and wonder. Not through cities, not through crowds, but through the untouched and the unfiltered. The places that don't need to shout to leave you speechless. This isn't just travel, it's remembrance of the world as it once was and as it still can be. Canada, where stillness roars. A journey into a wilderness that doesn't just take your breath but it gives it back cleaner, deeper and truer. 1. Banff National Park, Alberta. Best season, late spring to early fall, May to October. Snow still lingers on the peaks in May, while wildflowers bloom in the valleys. Autumn turns the large trees gold, and fewer tourists share the trail. You arrive just after dawn. The air is crisp, sharp enough to sting your lungs. At Moraine Lake, still wrapped in morning mist, the water reflects the valley of the 10 peaks like a perfect lie. The sound? Just your boots on gravel and the call of a loon somewhere distant. You take the Larch Valley Trail, rising slowly into meadows of gold under turquoise sky. Time slows. Your heartbeat matches the rhythm of the land. 2. Haida Gwaii, British Columbia. Best season, summer, June to August. Long days, mild temperatures, and navigable waters for kayaking and boat tours. The ferry rocks gently. Fog kisses the forested coastline like breath on glass. When you step ashore, the smell of salt, cedar, and old rain welcomes you. You paddle through quiet inlets, where sea lions raise curious heads and ravens call like tricksters from above. Ancient totems stand watch over overgrown clearings. You're not just visiting, you're trespassing in a living story. 3. Nahanni National Park, Northwest Territories. Best season, summer, June to August. Only accessible by floatplane, the park opens during the short, wild northern summer. The floatplane disappears into the horizon, and you're alone, truly alone. The Nahanni River glides beneath canyon walls so high they steal the sky. Rapids roar, but between them, the silence is immense. You camp on riverbanks where wolves leave paw prints near your tent. At Virginia Falls, twice the height of Niagara, you stand in the spray, trembling, not from cold, but awe. This isn't a park. It's a cathedral built by ice and time. But Cape Breton Highlands, Nova Scotia. Best season, autumn, late September to October. For peak fall foliage and cool, crisp air. The Cabot Trail winds like a painter's brushstroke across cliffs that plunge into the sea. You park and hike the Skyline Trail. Red, orange, and gold leaves blaze against the ocean blue. A moose appears through the trees, then disappears like a spirit. The Atlantic wind sings through the pines, and you feel small, but not in a lonely way, in the way that makes you grateful to exist. 5. Jasper National Park, Alberta. Best season, early autumn, September to October, or winter for stargazing, December to February. The crowds are gone. The elk wander freely across the valley floor as you drive into Jasper. At Moraine Lake, you board a boat to Spirit Island, surrounded by glacier-fed water so still they look painted. Come back in winter, and it's another world. Snow crunches underfoot, breath clouds the air, and the sky above is velvet black, lit by stars that feel close enough to touch. You lie back in the snow and let the cosmos look down. 6. Gros Morne National Park, Newfoundland and Labrador. Best season, summer, June to August. Foggy mornings, but clear afternoons ideal for hiking and fjord tours. The tablelands greet you with a harsh beauty, barren rock, golden orange and ancient. You hike across this exposed piece of Earth's mantle and feel time like weight on your shoulders. Then, the switch, you cruise through Western Brook Pond, a landlocked fjord flanked by 2,000-foot cliffs. Waterfalls tumble like whispers down their faces. It's hard to speak, because how do you narrate something so old, so vast, so holy? 7. Churchill, Manitoba. Best season, late autumn, October to November, for polar bears, or February to March for northern lights. You bundle up in layers. The wind is sharp, and snow creeps into your gloves, but your eyes don't blink, they're fixed. A mother bear and two cubs wander across the frozen tundra, her breath misting in the air. Later that night, you step outside and the sky erupts, ribbons of green and purple undulate above your cabin like living brushstrokes. The cold no longer matters. You are witnessing the sky dance. 8. Kilwain National Park, Yukon. Best season, late summer, August to early September. Warmer temperatures, fewer bugs, and clearer views of Mount Logan. The journey here is a pilgrimage. You hike into Icefield Range, every step a heartbeat closer to something ancient. Crevasses yawn under your crampons as you cross Glacier. Your guide points to distant peaks, where grizzlies roam undisturbed. At night, the cold is deep, but so is the silence. You stare into a fire, then up at stars no city has ever seen. And somewhere, inside you, something shifts. United States. Land of the wild, land of the vast. Here, adventure doesn't whisper but howls. This is a place of extremes, deserts that burn, mountains that touch heavens, rivers that cut through stone, and skies that never end. Every corner a new story. Every step, a bigger echo. 1. Yosemite National Park, California. Best season, late spring, May to June, for waterfalls, or autumn, September to October, for fewer crowds. You stand in Yosemite Valley, dwarfed by El Capitan and Half Dome, granite giants rising from the earth like frozen waves. Mist from Yosemite Falls drifts like breath on your cheeks. You hike through giant sequoia groves where the air smells of sap and age. At Glacier Point, the world spreads below you in a silence too big for words. The sunsets here don't set, they bleed. 2. Glacier National Park, Montana. Best season, summer, July to September, for full road access and alpine hikes. The Going to the Sun Road winds high through cliffs and meadows where mountain goats perch like ghosts. You hike the Highline Trail, heart-pounding as you skirt ridges with 1,000-foot drops. Glacial lakes glitter like sapphire eyes. At night, you camp beneath stars so close you feel like you could fall into them. There's something ancient in the wind here. Something sacred. 3. Zion National Park, Utah. Best season, spring, March to May, or fall, September to November, for cooler temps. You enter Zion Canyon and feel swallowed whole. Rust-red walls rise like cathedral columns, and the Virgin River coils like a silver ribbon through their feet. You wade through the Narrows, chest deep in icy water, every twist revealing new colors, new shapes. Climb Angel's Landing, if you dare, narrow, exposed, heart-thrumming. But at the top, silence. The world, spread out like a canvas of fire and stone. 4. Great Smoky Mountains, Tennessee to North Carolina. Best season, autumn, October to early November, for fiery foliage. Mornings here are made of mist. The mountains roll like waves into forever, each ridge a darker blue than the last. You hike to Clingman's Dome, and the view seems like it belongs in dreams. In Cades Cove, deer graze beside crumbling cabins, and black bears slip through golden woods. There's a hush here, a kind of memory. It feels like walking through time. 5. Olympic National Park, Washington. Best season, summer, June to September, for full access to coast, rainforest, and alpine. Where else can you touch glacier, stand in moss-draped rainforests, and watch the sun die into the Pacific, all in one day? At Hoh Rainforest, the trees drip with ancient green. On Hurricane Ridge, you hike above clouds. And at Ruby Beach, the sea stacks rise from the waves like sentinels of the old world. The Pacific wind smells like eternity. 6. Alaska, Kenai Fjords National Park. Best season, summer, June to August, for boat tours and glacier hikes. The boat cuts through icy water. Glacier carve in thunderous crashes into the sea. Orcas rise like shadows, sea otters bob like laughter, and bald eagles trace the air above. You hike the Harding Icefield Trail, where the cold bites and the view bites deeper. Everything here is oversized: land, silence, wildness. It's a place that doesn't care if you're ready. 7. Grand Canyon, Arizona. Best season: spring, March to May, or fall, September to November, for comfortable temps. You don't just see the Grand Canyon, you feel it, like a punch to the chest. It stretches out in a kaleidoscope of reds and ochres, cut by a river that carved eternity into stone. You hike down into it, layer by ancient layer, the weight of eons pressing with every step. At dawn, from the rim, the canyon glows like it's lit from within. You don't speak. You just stare. 8. Kauai, Hawaii, the NA with Macron Pali Coast. Best season: summer, May to September, for calmer seas and trail access. You hike the Kalala Trail, cliffs dropping into emerald seas, waterfalls veiling secret valleys. Helicopters buzz above, but down here, it's primal. Ferns brush your skin, the ocean crashes far below, and red dirt clings to your boots. Camp under cliffs so wild they seem drawn by gods. You fall asleep to surf, wake to birdsong. It's not a vacation. It's a baptism. Together, these two countries, Canada and the United States, feel like a conversation between serenity and scale, between whisper and roar. One speaks in quiet lakes and midnight skies. The other, in thunderous canyons and rainforest breath. Both are wilderness. Both are wonder. The wild doesn't rush. It waits for those willing to slow down, to listen, to feel. From the cold breath of northern glacier to the warm salt spray of island cliffs, we've touched only the surface of what Canada and the USA have to offer. Not in numbers, not in lists, but in moments. So wherever your compass leads, may it find you under open skies, on empty trails, with eyes wide and heart full. Because in the end, it's not the distance you travel, it's how deeply the journey moves you. Subscribe and move with us in every journey all around the world. Tell us your favorite travel to country and we'll make sure to cover it next. Like and watch our other destinations. Adios.